Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks so much for joining me on this beautiful Sunday morning. Now I've got a new cheap Casio that looks way more expensive than it is. This is model number MTP-VD01D-7EV. Try saying that real fast. Anyway, I think this watch goes to show you that you don't have to spend a ton of money to still get a great looking watch. Let's check it out. All right, guys, we'll get into this thing, but first check out my Amazon shopping channel if you like this or any of the other watches I've reviewed on my channel. As you all know, I get a very small commission if you buy from my Amazon store, so I definitely appreciate it if you choose to do that. All right, so this is kind of like the new Casio packaging, a little bit different than the old. It's kind of like a little clamshell type of thing here. There's your first look at the watch. There you go. Normally the price would go right here if you were like seeing us in like Walmart or Kohl's or some other big box store. The price would go right there. Let's take this thing out. Here's your module number, your warranty card, your instruction manual, all that good stuff obviously goes down here. Let's take the watch off the stand. There you go. So there's your first look at it. And I'm calling this like a Miami Diver Style because it just kind of reminds me of those watches they wore back in the 80s with the white dials. It just looks very Miami to me. That's my own personal new nickname for this watch. I just think it kind of has like that white stucco, kind of like pastel, white Testarossa, those azure blue pools, and you see all those Miami beach houses have. Just kind of reminds me of Miami, man. I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, there it is. Let's get all this other stuff out of the way. And guys, this watch is not expensive at all. But like I said in the title, it looks a lot more expensive than it is. At least to me it does. So I think it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and tell you all the 7 specs you need to know. Then I'll put the rest of the stuff down there in the description field. You're looking at a 45mm stainless steel case. It is 10.3 millimeters thick. Its lug is 49 millimeters. Comes on a 22 millimeter stainless steel bracelet. It is only water resistant to 50 meters, which is about 165 feet. Just to let you know, that's like mild swimming, no diving, no like super strenuous water sports. So basically you don't want water to be forcefully splashing against this, like if you're if you're surfing or if you're jet skiing. It's just meant for mild swimming, not too deep. Obviously you can take a shower with it, and it's rain proof and stuff like that, but you don't want any water forcefully hitting this watch. Movement is the 5058 with about a 3-year battery life. Again, not a big fan of anything that I have to change a battery on, but what do you expect? Mineral crystal on this thing, you don't get a sapphire. Again, for around 40 bucks, what do you expect? And again, all the other stuff you can check down there in the description field, like it's got a snapback, it's got a push-pull crown, not a screw-down crown, all that other stuff. So check that out. So guys, I like this watch. I think it's really good looking. I think it's very legible, even though it does have a white dial. The hour and the minute hand have a nice black border around them. You see the red pop on the end of the second hand there. The date window is a little bit hard to read for me personally. But what can they really do? You've got a white dial, a white background on the date window. If they had made this a black background, it probably would look a little bit funny. But I still think it's pretty darn legible for a white dial watch. Each one of the indexes has a black background around each one of the indexes. And again, like I said, the hands have that black background. Now this is not a working dive watch, obviously, so it doesn't have a movable or working bezel. It does have the graduations here. Again, Casio is calling this a diver style watch. So it's supposed to look like a diver, but it's not actually a diver. And if you go into that, knowing that when you're buying the watch, you're not going to be pissed off that the bezel doesn't work. Again, it's not an actual dive watch. So just kind of remember that. Now, the Lume shot I'm going to show you here in a few minutes. I'm a little disappointed because only the hour and the minute hand are loomed. None of the indexes are loomed, which really sucks. But again, guys, you got to remember, this thing is 40 bucks. You're not going to get some of the features you get on other actual dive watches, like a screw down crown, like a screw down caseback, like a working dive bezel, like all of the indexes being heavily loomed. You're just not going to get that because, again, not a real dive watch. Again, you know, it feels very well made, even though it is cheap. You are getting folded links on the stainless steel bracelet. Any watches in Casio's lineup around this $40 or $50 mark, you know, 99% of the time you're going to get folded links. These are not solid links, but the bracelet is actually really comfortable, which I was rather shocked, man, and pleasantly surprised too. So there's the rest of the watch. Of course, here's your crown. Again, not a screw down crown, not a sign crown. You do get these little crown guards, which honestly, I mean, they serve their purpose, but they're not going to protect this watch from any, you know, rough abuse, because you're not going to be, again, surfing with this watch, diving with this watch. They're really kind of more for looks than functionality, but I mean, they look good. The case is highly polished. This is more of a dress watch. You got some polished links there in the middle, brushed on the outside. Here's your clasp. Got Casio on there. Now, of course, you're going to get a friction closure, not like the security closure you normally get where you have to push the two buttons. You get a friction closure. You get a stamped scissor clasp. Again, guys, I mean, 40 bucks. Here is the Caseback right there. Super simple Casio Caseback. Just tells you the basic information. You know, there's no huge decoration on that thing. You know, again, 40 bucks, guys. You know, what do you expect? You do have a, 4 micro adjustments on the buckle, which is nice. This happens to fit me out of the box, which is, again, very welcome. Pretty cool. And I have an 8-inch wrist for you guys that are wondering. And I'll go ahead and put this thing on. Now, again, this is at the very end of the micro adjust. So anybody wants to get this watch, remember I have an 8-inch wrist. Let's go ahead and pop this thing on. There we go. Let's go ahead and close it up. Wow, really good fit. Perfect fit, man. Perfect fit right out of the box. It's a good looking watch for sure, guys. And I'm really curious to see what you think. You know, as you notice, this is a $40 watch and the hand is hitting the indexes perfectly. Just amazes me what some companies can do and some companies can't. Hint, hint, Seiko. So, I mean, look at that. Perfectly. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and take this thing off. Let's go ahead and give you a Lume shot. Let's go ahead and kill the studio light and the monitor. And again, the Lume is really disappointing. This is Casio's NeoBrite. And, it, you know, only the hands are, only the hour and minute hand are lumed. None of the indexes. See, there you go. I mean, it's not bad Lume. It gets the job done, I guess. It's not going to be as long lasting as Seiko's LumeBrite. Of course, no watch has, you know, as good a Lume as Seiko does. Everybody knows that. So to even compare other Lumes to Seiko's LumeBrite is kind of reductive. Is that the word I'm looking for? Reductive at this point? Because nobody can even compare. Nobody even comes close. Well, I take it back. Citizen has some watches that come pretty close. And some of the other upper-end, higher-end Swiss brands have some watches that come close. But still, Seiko is the Lume king by far. So as you can see, it's already faded quite a bit. I'm guessing this will probably last for a few hours, and then, you know, that's about it. But still a great-looking watch. Let's go ahead and cut everything back on. I like to bring you all these affordable Casios and G-Shocks. I mean, simply because they have got so many models of watches, and the value proposition is just fantastic with any Casio or G-Shock watch. They're just extremely well-made watches. They last forever. They have tons and tons and tons of different styles for every budget. This comes in a couple different colorways. This white is obviously my favorite. Some of the dials have Arabic numerals instead of like these little indexes. But they all are like basically the same style watch. But again, I like this white dial version. It just reminds me of my childhood, man. I guess I'm dating myself here, but it just reminds me of my childhood. I just think it's a really cool looking watch. Again, it looks more expensive than it is. So if you want to fake the funk a little bit and make people think you're wearing just a little bit more expensive watch than you actually are, this Miami Diver Style might be for you, man. So anyway, again, it's on Amazon's site for 40 bucks. I'll make sure to put that link down there in the description field for you. And again, they do have a couple of different colorways if you want to check those out. And as always, guys, make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you click that notification bell if you like my content, and I really hope you do. I try to bring you a variety of different watches and different styles and price points. So if you like my content, make sure you like and subscribe. And again, make sure you click that notification bell so you can receive all further notifications whenever I, upload a new review. And guys, it's been about it. I have some new stuff in the pipe as always, and I will see you on the next review. Take care. Bye.